Hello, we are going to review your cost measurement. And the question would be, why do we have to measure cost? Because we have to record it for uh, decision-making purposes. Okay? And since we are in strategic cost management, the first step would be to record and then make decisions out of the recorded cost. And the first thing that you have to do is accumulate. Okay? Now, if I am going to accumulate costs, then how am I going to do it? No? How are you going to do it? What would be the system use? What would be the methods? Okay? Because this one would answer for record for decision making purposes. This would answer for our anong W? W H Y. Okay? So, how are we going to accumulate costs? Let's talk about system and let's talk about methods. Okay? And in order for you to accumulate costs, you have to go back to what is a cost object. Okay? O isip-isip, ano ang ibig sabihin ng cost object. Kasi kailangan ito yung basis natin. At ang sabi sa atin, a cost object is anything. Anything. For which, a separate measurement of cost is desired. Diba? A separate, ayan, measurement. O, tumama ba kayo sa inisip nyo? Tingnan nyo naman, class, yung ginamit na term. Desired. Diba? So, pwede pala kahit ano-ano. Kung gano'n ang kwento ng buhay natin, then, ano ang crucial? Alam mo dapat kung ano ang costing system. Okay? And when we say system, actually, pag sinerch niyan sa net, ang lalabas dyan, job order, no? Na ito yung sa traditional, no? Job order, process costing, and then you have the activity-based costing. But this one, we would rather call it the methods, no? The methods in order for you to accumulate costs. And so, ang system natin ay you have, okay, actual, no? And then normal. Ano sa tingin niyo pangatlo? Standard. Okay? In measurement, yung actual system, yung normal and standard, pag gumamit ka ng job order, you have 3 choices. Okay? Pag job order costing system, gagamitin ko ba ay itong choices mo. Actual, normal, standard. Yan ang question. Okay? So, ganun din pagka process costing, no? And then, kapag ka ito ay activity-based. Okay? So, yun yung decision that you have to make. Ma'am, pwede bang dito sa costing system, okay? Dito sa costing system, 1, 2, o 3 ang gamitin? Hindi. Mamimili ka lang. 1 o sa 3. Kung ang gagamitin ko ba ay yung actual, yung normal, or standard. That's the answer. Okay? Pero, pag pag system ang ginamit natin basis. Kasi, mas madalas kasi iba niya yung lumalabas pagka sinabi mong costing system. But in our discussion now, we need to differentiate para you have a way for you to be able to differentiate. Now, pag ang pinag-usapan natin yung methods na yung job order, no? Yung kung ang pinag-uusapan ay job order, process costing, or activity-based, dito class, pwede yang simultaneous gagamitin mo. Ha? Bakit man pwede ko mamili? So, pag system pala, only one. Pero pag methods, pwedeng combine. Or pwedeng all. Bakit? It will depend on the product, no? Or it will depend on the activities. Okay? So, depende. Kaya, pag halimbawa, job order ka, pag pinili mo na normal system ka, kasi madalas na ginagamit class ito, normal costing system. Mamaya i-differentiate natin yung component niya. Okay? May mga separate discussion tayo on how to measure cost, accumulate cost, no, if it is job order, process costing, and activity-based costing. This particular discussion will focus on the general features of cost measurement. So, ano yung tatandaan nyo ngayon? Na mamimili lamang ako sa 3 na to, actual, normal, or standard. And how will I be able to differentiate it? Then, we'll go to the product cost. Okay? We start with the product cost so that you can easily relate. Okay? So, what component are your product costs? Direct material, direct labor, and factory overhead. If I am using actual costing system, okay, what will be my direct material cost? Of course, actual, and direct labor will be actual, and factory overhead will be actual. Okay? And later we will define what are the components of the actual cost and the normal cost and the standard cost using your cost function. Okay? Then we have normal costing. This will be actual, then this will be standard. Okay? And the standard, do you have any idea what will now be the standard? Direct material will be standard, standard, standard. This is the holistic view of the costing system. Okay? So, holistic view to ng costing system. What is, ito tayo, what is the component, no, um, of cost if it is actual? Remember, our definition of cost, my definition, it would be physical factor multiplied by the monetary factor. O, ito muna ang gagamitin natin para hindi kayo malito. Actual system, no? The actual costing system, your physical factor will be actual, your monetary factor will be actual. Okay? And this will be total cost is equal to, remember, the physical factor is normally the independent. Okay? And the monetary factor is reflected per cost object. Okay? So, ganyan. So, it will be the actual monetary factor multiplied by, wag ko muna unahin pala yung monetary factor, sorry. You have the actual physical factor multiplied by the actual monetary factor. Okay? This is your Y. And this will be your X. And this will be your cost object. Okay? Now, let's go to the normal costing system. And normal costing system will use what? Actual physical factor multiplied by standard monetary factor. Okay? So, ito yung crucial class. Pare-parehas yung ating physical factor. What would be different will be the monetary factor. Okay? And how about my standard? If it is, it will be standard physical factor. Okay? And of course, it will be standard monetary factor. Okay? And how do I determine the standard monetary factor and the standard physical factor? This will always be based on, okay, the standard, marami nagkakamali dito class, will always be based on actual production. Okay? Bakit ma'am? Iba pa ba yung may mga iba pa bang pwedeng pagbasihan? Yes, because remember, sa production, meron tayong isiniset na targets. Okay? And your targets is in the form of standards. Okay? Or these are your benchmark. Okay? Kaya meron tayong different capacity na siniset, 'di ba? Meron tayong tinatawag na ideal capacity, and then you have a normal capacity, and then you have your actual capacity. Para lang yung halimbawa, yung isang makinarya o isang tao, ang best na niya na pwedeng gawin. Halimbawa, ang pagbabasihan natin ay sa 1 hour. Ilan ang pwede mong kayang gawin na halimbawa ay basket, okay? O sapatos, no? Dahil ang produkto mo ay pwedeng basket, pwedeng sapatos, okay? O kaya naman halimbawa pagka nagmi-meal ka ng rice, ilang bags 'yan, no? O ilang kilo yung inilalabas, 'di ba? So, yun yung pagbabasihan mo. Kasi ito yung produkto mo basket, sapatos o serbisyo, 'di ba? Nagre-repair ka ng sapatos, gumagawa ka ng basket, gumagawa ka ng sapatos kasi sapatos pwedeng i-repair, pwedeng gawin. Ganun din naman ang bag, no? Ganun din naman ang let's say pag nagmi-meal ka ng rice, serbisyo yun 'di ba? So number of kaban, ganon. Number of kilos, yan. And definitely, yung ideal capacity, ito yung maximum. Okay? Yan na yung best. Without any delays, ganon, walang... Samantalang ang normal capacity, this would consider yung normal delays. Kasama dyan yung mga maintenance, ganon. So, pwedeng, kung 100, yung pag machine to 100 yung ideal capacity mo. So, pwedeng ang normal capacity mo is let's say 80%. Ganon. Or 70%. Ganyan. Based on the experience. No? So, pwede itong 100 baskets, 100 shoes, 100 bags, ganon. Okay? And, ano yung actual? Ito na yung nagawa mo. Pwedeng ang actual maging 85. Pwedeng ang actual maging 80. Pwedeng ang actual maging 75. Okay? Ma'am, pwede ba kaming tumaas dun sa normal? Pwede naman. Kasi, ang siniset mong normal capacity, ito yung traditional na somehow na-achieve. And what if nagkataon in a one situation nung naka 85 ka, maybe the situation is you are at the best situation kasi meron tayong tinatawag na best case scenario, worst case scenario, 'di ba? And most often than not, mas mababa ang actual capacity kesa sa normal capacity. Madalang naman yan na equal. No? But it can happen. Okay? So, bakit kailangan ma'am namin malaman? Kasi, the normal capacity is the basis of what? Yan. Meron tayo uling physical factor. Meron tayong monetary factor. Ang physical factor, ito yung sa cost natin Physical factor, ang ginagamit natin, actual. No? Actual production, pwede rin naman, gawa natin na lang actual capacity in producing goods. Ang monetary factor, ang ginagamit mo dyan ay normal capacity. Kailan? Pag ang ginagamit natin ay normal costing or standard costing. Okay? So, sa ngayon, maaaring malito kayo o naiintindihan nyo, but we'll have sample. And the question would be, Ma'am, why are you refreshing us on cost measurement? Because it is very important in assignment, no? In cost assignment. And we need to, this is one way for you to accumulate cost. Hindi pala one way. This is the way for us to accumulate cost. So, anong ginagawa pag nag-accumulate ng cost? Okay? In order for you to accumulate cost, dapat daw ang gawin natin ay ano? Alam na natin yung system, di ba? Ano na uli system? O, isip-isip. Hoy, system. Answer. Actual, normal, standard. Isa lang ang pipiliin. O, ano pa? Methods. Actually, itong methods, tinatawag din nila itong accumulation methods. Diba? Ano yan? Job order, process costing, ABC, parang JP yan. No? So, kahit alin dyan sa tatlo na yan, pwede mong gamitin simultaneously. Diba? Ito, only one. So, pag nag-accumulate pala ng cost, I need to assign. Okay? So, tagalin natin to. Pag nag-accumulate pala ng cost, ang ibig palang sabihin nun, mag-a-assign. Teka, mali yung ano ko pala sa, yung arrow ko. Pag kailangan ko mag-accumulate, mag-a-assign ako ng cost. Okay? So, let me stop at this point because it's already 20 minutes of our time. So, yun yung tatandaan nyo, ha? In accumulation, we need to have the system, we need to decide, and we need to know the methods. So, what I would like you to do as your experience point is, I would like you to differentiate, okay, differentiate standard, actual, and budgeted cost. Okay, yan tatlo na yan. I define already standard and actual based on my definition of physical factor and monetary factor. So, you kindly take a look at the other definition of what would be it. No? So, that will be our experience point, no? For this term. Thank you.